Let me tell you something about Terence Crawford. This brother's something special. It's a different animal, man.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter that I have seen in recent years, in past years. He can fight off the back foot. He can fight off the front foot. The guy can fight from southpaw position like he is a natural southpaw. He's mean like a Canelo Whitaker. He wants to knock you out.
Oh, the right hook! Slides to his right, nailed with another right hand. He's ready to go again. But we're out of time in the 5th round. Nails him again. He's back on his heels.
He's not running from the smoke. He's not running from challenges. He's asking for it. He's not boisterous. You know, he can turn up, but he's more or less like, man, whatever, I'm ready. What do you think about this guy? Bring it on. It's simple and plain.
Makes the right moves, he does the right things, he stays so comfortable and so confident in who he is and what he does as a fighter. He's literally, he's good.
Special fighter. All right, hook upstairs, and Crawford has Spence hurt again. All right, hook that wobbles him. Spence might be going down again, and this one is over. He is undoubtedly the undisputed and best pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
Boxing fans, welcome back to another presentation of the Boxing Code. Before we continue, let me introduce you to Boxing Showtimes. It's a mobile app that gives you access to a complete boxing schedule, full undercards, personalized reminders, daily news, real-time updates, and so much more. Dive deep into fighter records and stats with detailed insights and technical analyses, participate in polls, and share your thoughts with fellow fans. The sleek design adapts to your style day or night. From buying tickets to finding venues, streaming the fights, this app has you covered. This isn't just an app, it's the boxing community you want to join. Download now and thank us later.
Fighting out of Omaha, Nebraska, Terence Crawford.
It is July 30th, 2011. A young 23-year-old man named Terence Crawford is about to fight in his 14th professional bout. Even at a very young age, Bud Crawford was already showing that he was a special fighter. He mastered different aspects of the sport, being able to switch stances and demonstrating skills that would characterize him throughout his entire career. Bud Crawford was destined to be a legend, but it wasn't until 2013 that Terence would get his break, entering as a replacement in a co-main event fight against Prescott.
Terence Crawford, in spite of the fact that he's knocked out 9 of his last 10 opponents, this is a big step up in class for him, so let's see how he does here in the early going. Prescott, a Colombian boxer with great heart and a dangerous style, gained significant recognition by knocking out Amir Khan in the first round in 2008.
Got this new trainer holding him, and he's hurt! And a shot! And he's hurt! Another huge left! And down! He can hardly stand in the opening round. And Prescott's got it going here. Oh, he's going to have to be stopped. He's but he's counted out, and it's one of the biggest stunners in British boxing history.
This victory earned him a spot in major fights and solidified his reputation as a formidable opponent.
Crawford's doing a terrific job boxing him. You know, you may be right that he may be a natural southpaw.
He's getting really confident.
Crawford managed to prevail against Prescott, using both southpaw and orthodox stances, along with his speed and footwork to avoid being hit by the Colombian's punches.
Crawford's going to have to be taken serious. This kid's a good boxer.
still undefeated, Terence Crawford.
You just totally dominated, in my opinion, the fight.
We knew what was going to happen. We knew he couldn't handle the movement, my boxing ability, so I wasn't surprised by nothing.
Just 3 months later, Bud Crawford was ready to return to the ring. This time, he would face Alejandro Sanabria. A 26-year-old Mexican fighter boasting an impressive record of 34 wins and only 1 loss, with 25 of those victories coming by way of knockout.
But he's a tough guy. He's got a great record and a boxer puncher. He'll give you a good fight. What do you know about him?
I don't take nobody lightly. You know, I just go in there feeling that anybody can take my zero away from me, and right now I can't have that.
The stage was set for an electrifying showdown, and Terence was ready to put on a show.
Terence Crawford is viewed by many, including me, as probably the best lightweight in the world. He now has to go about proving it.
Ooh, Sanabria catches into the left hook. It's been a very competitive second round. There's a good right hand by Crawford.
Although the Mexican managed to land some powerful shots, Crawford skillfully navigated the fight, targeting Sanabria's body and gradually wearing him down. With a relentless focus on body shots, Terence took control of the bout. Finally, he sealed the show at the beginning of round 6.
31 overall, 35%, pretty good percentage. And Sanabria is 51 of 219. This is a knockdown. Gonna stop the fight.
Good stoppage. Sanabria couldn't stay steady on his feet. Congratulations, Terence, on a sensational performance. You told us you weren't going to be gunning for the knockout. Could have fooled me.
Well, I had to take what was given. You know, I seen that he didn't want to initiate and come to me, so I had to come to him.
Terence Crawford got something inside him, a meanness inside him. In that way, he reminded me kind of Pernell Whitaker. He had that thing, that bully in him, that dog in him, that thing where when the going gets rough, he bites down and he wants it more.
In his 3rd fight of the year, 2013, and before his first world title fight, Terence was ready to close the year with another excellent performance in the ring. This time, he would face the undefeated Andre Klimov in another co-main event in Orlando, Florida.
Crawford does the hardest thing to do in boxing, which is stand in the pocket with a good defense, not get hit, in punching range, land your own punches.
Terence masterfully dominated each round, using his jab to close the distance and delivering precise combinations to the Russian's body. Crawford's performance was a technical masterpiece, as he was forced to take the initiative with Klimov remaining in a defensive shell throughout the bout. Despite urging from his corner to throw punches and engage, Klimov remained passive.
Tell him I said he's acting like a coward. Either you go get knocked out or you knock him out in order to win. Go out fighting. You gotta be more aggressive. You gotta go get it.
For your winner by unanimous decision and still undefeated from Omaha, Nebraska, Terence Crawford.
Everybody was asking, can Terence Crawford handle the heat? Can he shine under the brightest lights? That wasn't the question. We all knew Terence Crawford was going to be that guy. It was just a matter of when it was going to happen. And on March 1st, 2014, Ricky Burns, unfortunately, was his first victim to becoming a world champion.
The press around here have kind of said that you haven't really had a lot to say since you've been here. Is there a particular reason for that, Terence?
I ain't here to talk a lot.
You're here to do the business.
Strictly business.
It's not too many guys that can go into somebody's backyard and beat them in that kind of way. But Terence Crawford really showcased boxing in this fight, and you gotta really give props to it.
And this was the introduction of Terence Crawford right here. We seen what Terence Crawford earlier before that fight, what he was capable of, but this was the introduction of Terence Crawford not knocking on the door, but kicking it down and saying, hey, look, y'all lightweights better watch out because I'm coming.
You
could tell Terence Crawford, kind of like how he do in any other his fights, he's kind of calculated. He's kind of waiting for those moments to take up and pick those shots apart. I already said this before to you. You know, this is a very, very calculated guy. He's a very, very skilled guy, and he's going on there with the intention to kill.
That's a really good look shot from Crawford. And Burns is hurt again. Switching to the body. Burns covering up. But is enough getting...
Terence Crawford did not stop. Every fighter has a nickname, but eventually that fighter has to live up to their nickname. And I feel like this fight against Ricky Burns was the birth of Bud Crawford.
But I can't think of one occasion in this fight where Ricky Burns has visibly hurt Terence Crawford, and you can think of plenty where it's the other way around.
Terence Crawford is continuing to showing people that he is truly that competitive, pound for pound fighter. In this fight, he really showed people he can really box. Terence Crawford controlled the fight. Nothing Ricky Burns could really do. Even if Ricky Burns tried to apply the pressure, Terence Crawford, with his tremendous counter-punching ability, he broke it down and cruised by, got the unanimous decision, beating Ricky Burns in his own country, in front of his fans, his judges, and his world.
A moment of history for the American. The first Omaha born and raised world champion.
I don't think there ever going to be a moment to actually make me feel the way I felt when I was in Scotland that day, because that was my whole dream. Something that I dreamed of all my life as a kid. My dreams came true that one night.
After clinching the world championship and achieving his primary goal in boxing, Bud Crawford was far from finished. Determined to reach even greater heights and continue conquering titles, Terence set his sights on one of his most talented opponents yet, Yuriorkis Gamboa, a Cuban boxer who had claimed gold at the 2004 Athens Olympics. This matchup promised to be one of the most thrilling bouts in Crawford's career.
I have nothing bad to say about the man, but only thing I can say is he shouldn't have took this fight. You ain't fought me yet. This ain't amateurs. This ain't amateurs. This is the professional game. And I got a 0, you got a 0, but soon to be a loss.
Oh, he hurt him with the right hand.
Terence touches him up with a pretty good jab. Whacks him with the left hand. Now holds up to the right hand.
Gamboa is fighting back to back.
Slides to his right. Nails him with another right hand. He's ready to go again. But we're out of time in the fifth round. Nails him again. He's back.
Was him, but he made it work for him.
Yes, he did.
It was an electrifying, action-packed fight, where even Gamboa managed to land several hits on Bud. While Crawford was the winner, both men put on an excellent and dramatic show of skill and guts. ESPN called it the best fight of the year.
Everything he does at the very least.
Oh, here's Gamboa in the process of landing some shots. He dropped him. Hit him with the right hand and the left. There's not a lot of time left in this 8th round. There he is again. And he get hurt again.
And now Crawford's gone back to conventional. He lands an uppercut.
Saul, Crawford looks a little off balance right now.
I got rocked by Gamboa, and in that same round, it was over with. The same round. The same round.
Gamboa, he drops him again. That's a hard knockdown. That's a 27-26. Gamboa's totally out of his feet. Can Crawford catch him one more time? There's no quitting Gamboa. He keeps battling, falling forward. Uppercut, drops him again. Defend his title in his hometown.
Now y'all really see who Terence Crawford is. He's got heart, will, and determination. And he gonna get the job done.
It's been a long road, but I just felt like, you know, it was my time. And I was destined to win that fight because I just felt it in my heart.
Coming up next, Crawford was poised to face Ray Beltran. Months before Crawford became a world champion, Beltran had faced Ricky Burns in Scotland, where a controversial decision was made. Despite knocking Burns down and breaking his jaw, the fight ended in a draw.
I know that he beat Burns before I did.
In your opinion, do you think Beltran did enough to beat Burns?
I mean, Ray knocked him down, broke his jaw. and won, what, 7, 8 rounds? Of course he won the fight. I've never heard of anyone even saying that Ricky Burns, I don't know if Ricky Burns ever said he won the fight.
Technically, it could be Beltran's belt. It should be, by most estimations.
Yeah, I mean, belts, whatever, you know, but the guys wait for title shots, and then the smart ones take it so seriously once they have it, because there are guys like Beltran out there who are waiting for this opportunity.
It's the kind of fight I've been waiting for my whole life, where we really get the recognition from respect from the boxing world, you know.
Crown champion, Raimundo Beltran!
Obey my commands and protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck to both.
Terence Crawford, that he's the best lightweight in the world, the champ of the division, and Beltran is his most worthy challenger. That's what you get tonight.
As Manny Pacquiao's primary sparring partner.
Crawford is obviously winning the rounds.
Hard right hand by Beltran. Bring on the clown.
And just got hurt by a hard right hook by Crawford right after that.
That's what makes Crawford one of the things that makes him so tough. His fighting spirit. He's a tough guy.
In another thrilling bout in Omaha, Crawford clinched his 3rd consecutive victory of 2014. Ray Beltran had his moments, landing some crisp punches, but they were overshadowed by Bud's relentless pressure. Crawford masterfully dominated most of the fight, imposing his jab and unleashing powerful combinations. He was ultimately recognized by ESPN as the Fighter of the Year for 2014.
Overhand left that call for something undoubtedly done.
Double jab, body shot, left, lead upstairs, into the conventional stand. Crawford, as always, fights back. Another thing about Terence, such a fighter.
Visions behind him. And you see Crawford trying to close the show here, trying to give these fans something to get excited about. Remember,
we're taking risks.
Still undefeated. Still the WBO lightweight champion of the world, Terence Crawford.
Another dominant and skillful performance by Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford, you heard just telling Max Kellerman that this was it for the lightweight division, where he proved himself the number 135-pound fighter in the world. Now he'll be moving up to 140, the only remaining.
Moving up to 140 pounds, Crawford was ready to embrace new challenges in a new division. He would face the prospect Thomas Dulorme, a 25-year-old Puerto Rican boxer who was coming down from 147 pounds to take on Terence. Thomas Dulorme was knocked out by Abregu in 2012, but since then he had managed to recover with 6 consecutive victories, defeating formidable opponents like Henry Lundy.
when Dulorme was a rising prospect, his people made the mistake, as so many have in the past, even nearly Joe Frazier's people, when he was a rising contender decades ago, of putting him in with a relatively unknown but hard-punching, awkward Argentine fighter. In Dulorme's case, Abregu. Frazier's was Oscar Bonavena. He was knocked out. The question in this fight might be, is Tomas Dulorme mean enough inside that ring to deal with Terence Crawford?
Crawford took the early rounds to study the Puerto Rican fighter. Knowing his opponent, he anticipated a flurry of power punches in the initial stages of the bout. Dulorme managed to land some shots on Bud, but once Crawford successfully deciphered him, the fight would swiftly come to an end.
And that might be the only one that matters so far.
In the 6th round, Crawford knocked Dulorme down 3 times, bringing the fight to a dramatic conclusion.
Crawford just with surgical precision. Look at Terence Crawford setting Dulorme up for these.
Feelings with Chip. Not just getting hit when he got hurt, he's going to the head and the body.
It's pretty clear from those first 5 rounds, Crawford studied up and now knows every single thing he has to do, and he did it. That is a sensational 6th round knockout for Terence Crawford. How would you describe your style to the fans at home?
Versatile. I feel like I can do whatever.
As long as I train hard and put my mind to it, I can do whatever.
It was an absolutely wonderful, marvelous performance. Listened to his corner well, did exactly what his corner told him to do. And now you understand when I say he was doing things that were boxing moves, that means he was setting up the next step.
That's where they messed up at. Once you start disrespecting Terence, you start disrespecting him, his camp, then you ask for an ass whooping. They used to do that shit back in the old days, and the little tactics like that to try to get. It's a form of disrespectful towards Terence. If the champ is giving you an opportunity to fight for his title, and you're gonna send a cardboard box, man.
After failing to show up at the press conference, Deary Jean had caused tensions to rise. Terence was ready to make him pay for his disrespect.
You already got a fire in your eyes right now. I know you're looking over at him. Are you ready to go, aren't you?
I'm ready. I'm looking to make a statement this way.
And what is that statement?
That he shouldn't have ran his mouth.
Obey my commands at all times, above all, protect yourselves at all times. Let's go. Right here. You gotta try to counter it with the hook, which makes it...
Hard right hand by Crawford. Down goes Jean. Barely buckled Jean's knee. One comes down again.
The about it is that straight right hand right there.
Yeah, he's getting caught with a right hook, caught with a left hand.
Crawford did everything expected of him, wiping Jean out in a 10-round knockout victory, systematically destroyed Jean, dropping him 3 times in a one-sided beating.
You seemed more amped up than usual at times. In between some rounds, you'd land a good flurry, hurt him. Why were you especially amped up for this fight?
Well, you can look to your left and you can see those 2 guys over there that called me out. He called me out twice. Did you get what you was looking for?
Unable to secure the highly coveted fight with Manny Pacquiao, Crawford found himself seeking new horizons to continue building his legacy.
Ultimately, Pacquiao and his promoter chose the rubber match with Tim Bradley. It's been equally widely reported that Hank Lundy was the last of a handful of fighters who were offered the chance to fight Crawford here tonight. The rest of them turned it down.
Hank Lundy is a good, credible, tough contender, but other than the people in his group, no one thinks he's actually going to beat Terence Crawford.
Roy Jones, you have some experience now as a trainer. If you were training Lundy tonight, going in against the multi-talented Crawford, what would you tell him to do?
Well, Jim, first thing I would have told him was, you don't want to go out there and piss off a bear. And that's exactly what I think he's done.
I'm in his head. I'm in his whole team head. I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna roll and uncut. That's what I told him. We know come fight now, you know, he's not gonna be the Terence Crawford y'all been seeing. He's gonna walk into a lot of shots.
Can the good old school contender give the elite champion more than he bargained for tonight?
Southpaw stance. Lundy told us yesterday that he would switch southpaw as soon as Crawford did. Opponents have been able to hit Crawford, and that was a hard left hook by Lundy. Good counter punch by Crawford there. Another good combination for Lundy after Crawford had caught him with a couple of shots.
Don't let him do what he's doing. If you want to stay close, you get smaller, you can counter it. Like you said, he's coming with wild punches.
Lundy burst out in the first round, throwing powerful punches that connected with Crawford. However, after making some adjustments, Terence Crawford imposed his will with a series of combinations, ultimately knocking Lundy out in the 5th round.
Big left hand and another left hand. Momentarily wobbles Lundy. Lundy trying to find his legs. Crawford looking for a way to land another shot. Left hand knocks Lundy into the ropes. Good body shot by Crawford.
Lundy let Crawford get a little too close, and you saw that coming.
Down goes Hank Lundy on a Crawford left hand. Hard left hand. Hard left hand again. Crawford wailing away.
Super lightweight champion of the world, Terence.
So at 140, Terence Crawford is not only a guy who can switch up orthodox southpaw, but he's a knockout artist.
Oh man, I told everybody, I got power in both hands, and I'm blessed with the boxing ability and the IQ that I have, and that's gonna take me a long way in this boxing game.
Yeah, let's see how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah, I've been wanted this
forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better.
Next up, Terence Crawford was ready to unify titles in the 140-pound division. He would face the undefeated Victor Postol.
Walk with me, you know that I got it. Come with me, let's take a trip to the islands. We up on the jet, we'll do more than just fly on it. Stand on that hill, you gon' die on it. Boom. Baby, I'm not one of them, you should try on it. Miss me with all that, I'm on it and next.
Who boasted an impressive 28-0 record, with both fighters making their debut at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas.
Max, we know in a simple sense what's at stake. The winner is the best fighter in the 140-pound weight class. Beyond that, what else is at stake?
A spot in the top 10 pound for pound, certainly. Terence Crawford is already there. He will solidify that spot, maybe move into the top 5. Victor Postol would certainly appear on pound for pound list.
Desolate, but I had premonition. I was training for war, every exhibition, every extra mission, every enemy listening. Get off my dick, I got bad intentions. Make it right every wrong, and I'm back with a vengeance. I show you the ropes. Peace in my town, I can show you the coast. Up in the shots if they wanted to smoke. If you know, then you know. Suited up, my whole team do the same. Don't you forget who created the game. Ready for war, I was born with grenades. The trenches where soldiers are made. Let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. A moment can live on forever. Let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. A moment can live.
You asked earlier, Jim, about the American style. I think what typifies the American style at the top of the pound for pound ranks is the boxing brain. Think about Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward, and Terence Crawford. His ability to outthink and think faster than his opponent, I think, is probably the hallmark of the American style.
Champion of the world, the fighting pride of Omaha, Nebraska, Terence Crawford.
Victor Postol is a very good fighter. Crawford dominated him. In fact, he was so dominant it undermined the significance of the victory because people afterward were questioning Postol's quality. That's how dominant Crawford was. And if he wins tonight, and the point is really how he wins, we all expect him to win against an opponent with a weight advantage who fought and lost a fight of the year a couple years ago, who beat Provodnikov recently, who's coming in hungry. We expect Crawford to dominate. Who else is there with as strong or stronger?
After prevailing against Postol, Bud Crawford would face John Molina Jr. Molina was coming off an upset victory against Provodnikov, and heading into the fight against Terence, he failed to make weight, thus gaining a significant advantage over Crawford.
Prepared well. Terence is a unique champion, very special in that way. We are prepared for the best version of Terence Crawford.
Give the fans a good, hard, clean fight. Touch gloves. Good luck to both of you.
Outside of the ring, Terence Crawford is fan-friendly and accessible. But Jim, of all the qualities we've mentioned, my favorite about Crawford inside the ring is he's a mean fighter.
Terence Crawford unleashed a storm of combinations on Molina, striking with every type of punch, straight shots, hooks, and uppercuts. It was a relentless beating from start to finish, culminating in an incredible knockout in the 8th round.
It seems like he's done. He lands a big shot, a good body shot. You don't stand for the boys over.
Welterweight, there are some names there, although there may be promotional or network issues, but one that jumps out to me as a different kind of talent is Errol Spence. Do you think eventually someone like that can be a big opponent for you?
Yeah, of course. He at 147, I'm at 140, and he may be moving up, but sure, that'd be a great fight.
It's crazy because on the outside it looks easy. It looks real easy. And a lot of fighters say, "Oh, I can beat him. I want to fight him. I want to get in the ring with him." But then when they get in the ring with me, it's a whole totally different thing, and they see something that they ain't never seen before.
Felix Diaz is a former Olympic gold medalist. one loss, a tough loss to Lamont Peterson in a close fight. Lamont Peterson, a very good fighter. That's his only pro loss. And yet still, this is considered, if not a mismatch, at least a fight in which Terence Crawford is a prohibitive favorite. It's not necessarily commentary about the level of his opponent. He has a credible opponent. That's how good Terence Crawford is.
In his first bout of 2017, Bud would face Felix Diaz, an accomplished fighter with an extensive amateur career boasting over 240 victories and a gold medal from the 2008 Beijing Olympics.
Diaz Jr., the fighting pride of Omaha, Nebraska, Terence Bud
Terence Crawford showcased his exceptional skills, proving that few fighters can rival his talent. He utterly dominated Felix Diaz, leading the scorecards by a wide margin. Eventually, Diaz's corner had no choice but to throw in the towel after the 10th round, as Diaz had endured a severe beating.
And he's unwilling to come from master psychologist and face left hand.
Crawford does that, but more than that. He studies his opponent, figures out exactly how to beat him up, and after a couple rounds, just starts to beat the hell out of him, and that's what happened here tonight.
Oh, that hurt him, man.
Yep.
That hurt Diaz bad.
Yep.
Good body shot by Crawford.
He beats fighters up, breaks them down, ruins their careers.
Yeah, here's another scary thing about Crawford. As he's risen in weight, he's shown increasing power. And I compared you to some great lightweights of the past. You're a mean guy in there, like you enjoy beating the guy up in a way maybe not all prize fighters do. Am I right about that? Why is that, Terence?
It's a fight. Can't be nice in there. My dad always taught me as a little kid, don't go in that ring playing, you're gonna get hurt. So you gotta be mean in there.
Before moving up in weight class, Crawford had one last fight at 140 pounds to become the undisputed champion of the division. He faced Julius Dongo, who had earned his shot by taking belts from two champions in their own hometowns.
Fight hard, fight clean, good luck to both. Left hand from Dongo. Crawford gets right back into the kitchen.
See the shots that you need to land. But Dongo still just a little tight for my taste.
And then on the back end, a right hand to the body, and that's going to be a knockdown score. Down to your point, Andre. You quote in two different ways. Another knockdown score with a vicious body shot. Bud Crawford is the undefeated, undisputed champion of the world.
In a spectacular farewell to the super lightweight division, Crawford knocked out Dongo in just 3 rounds, becoming the undisputed champion.
There's a new fish coming up in town. His name is Terence Crawford. That's coming up to 147 pounds, who I think right now is the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the game.
In his first fight at 147 pounds, Crawford was set to face the winner of PACQUIAO versus Horn. In June 2018, a controversial decision in Australia crowned Jeff Horn as the winner.
A win, a huge win to Horn, the local kid, for trying hard. You're not supposed to get it for trying hard. You're supposed to get it for winning. I thought Pacquiao won the fight. If you go by the real rules, the Marcus of Queensberry rules, who lands the cleaner punches?
That's it. Mr. Horn, Mr. Crawford. Gentlemen, let's do this.
The fight between Crawford and Horn took place in Las Vegas, where Terence aimed to become a champion in 3 weight classes.
See right there, right out the gate, Terence is controlling distance. Every time Horn steps in, he gets out just far enough, and he tries to counter just like there, just like that with his head.
Oh, Horn comes in with a right hand that lands flush on Crawford. From trainer to fighter. Charging in with a right hand, and now they exchange in the middle of the ring.
Terence Crawford put up an excellent performance, dominating each round and landing powerful punches as Horn attempted to close the distance. He managed to drop Horn at the end of the 8th round, and the referee stopped the fight in the 9th. Crawford was crowned the WBO welterweight champion.
Nearly floored him there on the belt. Big left hand, right hook, up uppercut sends him back. Up hand again. Horns in the corner. Uppercut lands. Crawford on the attack. That's it. It's over. It's over.
Champion of the world, Terence.
Got to give him credit for credit's due. He had a good punch. Speed times strength equals power. So he was just crafty. He was very good on the back foot.
Put some parts on his ring, yeah. He needs that red money. Let's get some real shit on.
You a bitch! You a bitch! You a bitch!
Things got a lot more heated next when Crawford was set to take on Jose Benavidez Jr.
Confidence in your son. Hold on. You said you and him didn't ring? I bet my Percy knock you out. I bet my Percy knock you out. You guys just do bark. You guys don't do nobody. He said we all bark with nobody. He gonna find out. Come Saturday, he gonna find out how hard I bite. I know what's gonna happen come Saturday.
When October 13th arrived, the talk was over. Both teams had heated up the atmosphere in the weeks prior, and now these undefeated fighters were ready to face each other.
Welterweight championship of the world. There he is. Good exchange.
With relentless body blows, Crawford systematically dismantled Benavidez round after round.
To Crawford, and that time does Crawford. There he works his way to the inside, and included yet another body punch. This is a good-looking third round for Bud Crawford. More than most people imagine. There, as Bud came in, and then Crawford had a tendency. You saw him double up that left hand. Now he gets right into the kitchen of Benavidez.
Benavidez that I did earlier in the fight.
Covering up. Crawford.
He made a point before. That jab looks good when he throws it.
After an incredible beating, Crawford would deliver the finish that everyone had been anticipating, knocking out Benavidez in the final round.